We are where fear begins. I'm Oliver. When I moved to the suburbs of Chicago, the neighborhood seemed so quiet that I started going out for walks at night. But on my third night, as I was walking home from work, the street lamp on the corner suddenly began to flicker. As the light flickered on and off, the shadow beneath it seemed to move. At first, I thought it was the wind, until I realized the shadow was changing direction. I quickened my pace. The light flickered again, and this time the shadow stretched towards me. It seemed to be crawling across the tarmac. My heart pounding, I turned around and the shadow vanished instantly. When I reached the door of the house, I turned and looked back. The street was completely empty. As I lay down around midnight, I heard a tapping sound in front of the window. It was like a slight scraping sound. Then came a thin scratching sound as if someone were touching the glass. When I parted the curtain, there was nothing there. But the street lamp was flickering again. This time the shadow emerged from behind the lamppost and glided towards the pavement. It wasn't like a person walking. It was more like a stain silently gliding across the ground. I closed the curtain, but the shadow was still on my mind. Then I heard a sound. 3 light taps on the window. The next day, my neighbor Mrs. Riley told me I should never walk down that street at night. She said that in the 90s a man had disappeared at the same spot, and the camera in the opposite building had only recorded a shadow that wasn't his. I tried to laugh, but I felt a chill inside. When I returned home that night, the street lamp was flickering again, but this time there was no shadow. Just as I was relaxing, a dark shape appeared at the end of the hallway inside the house. At the same moment the lamp flickered. The shadow stood as if stuck to the wall, but its shape was lifelike. Long, thin, human-shaped, but without a head. I took a step. The shadow did too. There was no sound of footsteps. There was no face, but I felt it was looking at me. As I reached to turn on the light, the shadow suddenly detached itself from the wall and slid rapidly across the floor towards me. I screamed and fell backwards. When the light came on, the shadow vanished. But where it had been on the floor, a small black mark remained. It looked like a burn mark. As I tried to call the police, my phone died. The house was completely silent. Then that scraping sound came from the hallway. This time it was faster. The shadow blended into the darkness and went up the stairs. The last thing I remember was the door closing by itself as I entered my room, and the shadow appearing at my feet and speaking. The nights in this neighborhood are mine now. Since that day, the same black marks have been seen on the walls of some houses in the suburbs. Every night the street lamp flickered, that shadow reappeared. What would you do?